Plushenko called Kostoleva and Rubtsova's victories a step forward for his academy. Elena Kostoleva had previously won the Moscow Region Figure Skating Championship among juniors of the regional team. Lyubov Rubtsova became the first in the CMS tournament. The Moscow Region Championship has taken place. For the first time, our athletes won gold medals in all types of single skating among juniors and masters. For the first time in her history, Elena Kostoleva performed 3 quadruple jumps in her free program. For the first time, after a long break and after a very complicated back surgery, Lyubov Rubtsova jumped a cascade with a triple axel. These are small steps forward. The first and very important victories for the Angels of Plushenko. Wrote coach and 2-time Olympic champion Evgeni Plushenko in his Telegram channel. Anna Shubakova, Daria Usacheva and Daniel Blakengos attended the football match. On September 22, the skaters and the choreographer met at the Spartak vs Dynamo game, 2-2, in Moscow. An unexpected and pleasant meeting. Usacheva wrote in her stories and posted a photo in which figure skater Daria Panenkova is also present. Natalia Bestemayanova spoke out in defense of Sofia Samotkina. Earlier, the figure skater, who moved from Russia to Kazakhstan, took 4th place at the Junior Grand Prix stage in Turkey. Why is her performance called unsuccessful? Sofia performed well, skated her program. An unsuccessful result. Well, she missed 2 years, this should be taken into account. Sorry to throw a stone in your garden, but today people who do not understand anything about figure skating often write about it. Russian experts say that they are not interested in her performances because of the change of citizenship. These same people followed Davis and Smolkin with great interest when they moved to Georgia. What is this, if not double standards? She is a Russian person, was and remains. We must rejoice at her successes, empathize when something does not work out, said the Olympic champion in ice dancing. Of course, you are used to the fact that the figure skating elite is reluctant to talk about those who have changed citizenship, and if they do, then dryly. For her, this is an international debut under a new flag. She has not performed in Russia since the spring of 2023. But Averbik demonstratively erased the figure skater from his memory. I am not interested in talking about Sofia Samotkina. This is a frivolous topic. Who even cares about her? Who is this? By the way, in May of this year he was softer, remembered something, but poorly. I don't know what shape Sofia Samotkina is in now, because no one has seen her on the ice for 2 years. I wish Sofia good luck, let all the athletes skate. Where is this photo from? From Averbik's show. Sofia performed in at least 3 of his projects. Tatyana Tarasova's anniversary. 80th anniversary of the breakthrough of the siege of Leningrad. Letters of love. And the last time was in September 2023. Averbik assures that no one has seen Samotkina for 2 years. Apparently, he didn't notice her at his show either. And those same 2 years ago, Averbik was following Sofia's career and was happy with her success. I am very happy for Samotkina. You can see the work of Sveta Sokolovskaya, who I really like. When Sofia came, she received a very serious injury. She was restored practically from scratch. The most spectacular costumes at the test skates of the Russian team. The 2020 European champion, figure skater Kosternaya, confirmed that the dress for the shore program is the same angelic one in which she took the coveted gold. It seems that Ileona is really nostalgic for the champion times of the Terry Tutbirds. The outfit for the free program is too reminiscent of Twilight. The 3-time champions of Russia decided to bring a share of passion to the test skates. Vanya's translucent blouse and Sasha's chic dress with a chiffon skirt are just what you need. The most unusual costumes were, perhaps, those of the wonderful couple Alexandra Bykova and Dmitry Kozlovsky, who chose the action-packed story Kill Bill. They even depicted bloodstains. What if they are real? Petr Gumenik is one of those who presented their own variation of the fantasy epic Dune. And his outfit turned out to be the best. Look at this detail. Anastasia Messina, Alexander Goliamov plays with an interesting production under Michael Jackson. Their pair costumes made an indelible impression on the audience. Indian charm enveloped Mark Kondratyuk, who, as usual, creatively approached his task. A curious costume with an element similar to a dhoti. Elizaveta Kadaberdeva, Igor Bazin diluted the test skates with bright colors. Just look at this extravagant set of colors and textures. Alexandra Ignatova, Trusova, returned to the black classics, but not simple, but with beautiful translucent inserts and unusual lines. Evgeni Plushenko's student appeared in the images of two swans, but the white suit turned out to be much more advantageous. The Russian champion is still finalizing the tango program, but the dress is already ready to glorify its owner. Very elegant and bright. It became known which of the figure skaters Rusada tested for doping in August. 25-year-old Dmitry Valieva and 20-year-old Vladislav Dekidze. Earlier in 2024, both athletes had already been tested for doping. For both, passing the test in August was the second this year. This is reported by TASS. In an interview with NHK, Kamila commented on her doping case for the first time. Kamila Valieva received a 4-year disqualification from the moment she took a positive sample. December 26, 2021. The figure skater herself has never commented on the doping case. With permission from the same cause, the visiting panel that met at the Olympics, she continued to compete and fought for the highest places in Russia, but she only briefly touched on what happened at the Games. In a documentary by the Japanese TV channel NHK, Kamila spoke directly about the situation for the first time. The 45-minute video is dedicated not only to her, but rather to Terry Tutberts's group as a whole. But, of course, Valieva became the central plot. For my part, I can say that I did not take doping consciously. Kamila began. I tried to do everything as much as possible. We are taking the Rusada course. I tried to follow the rules as much as possible. I went to the Olympic Games and set myself up in such a way that this is a wonderful celebration of sports, that this is the place for which you have worked for so long, for which you have dreamed about it for so long. And I arrived and, unfortunately, received different emotions, a different attitude. The figure skater also explained her disastrous performance in the individual Olympic tournament. If I understood that I couldn't do a Salchow or an axel, and especially that I couldn't do a toe loop, I should have left that toe loop, and not tried to do either a double or triple Salchow, and continued skating with triples. But I was afraid that the coaches would tell me why I didn't do all the jumps. That's probably when I gave up, Valieva said. She also recalled the oppressive atmosphere at training, where journalists began to gather after information about the doping test appeared. There were no photographers before, but here the entire training arena is full of cameras. Everyone is taking pictures and immediately posting how you fell. Terry Tutberts still doesn't have a single version of how doping appeared in her student's body. Unlike Leonid Slutsky, the Japanese dared to ask her a direct question. There are people who believe that the club and coaches should control a 15-year-old child. I don't know here, Tutberts answered. First of all, I have a lot of questions. What is this? Where did it come from? No one wanted to think even rationally. Okay, she was clean at all the starts both before and after. But why does she need doping at the Russian championships? She won the whole season, was clean everywhere, and then, let's give her. What was needed there? Jump higher. Twist more. We don't have seconds when we ran faster or jumped further, we need a spurt. No, we don't have that. Terry again praised her student, whom she called the most talented in previous comments. Someone gave it to her from above. Special. Beautiful jumps, beautiful skating, a unique position in spins, fast speed, centering. And Elizaveta Tuktamysheva also appeared in the film, commenting on the suspension of her career. I probably made this decision because I understand that Russian athletes are not yet allowed to participate in international competitions. Our federation is doing everything possible to ensure that we have motivation, various competitions, new projects. Of course, this all helps a lot, but those athletes who have already felt the taste of victory, especially international ones, and I have a lot of experience in this regard, lack these emotions. Alas, Elizaveta admitted the obvious.